Breaking news into SportsCenter. Kyrie Irving is picking up his $36.5 million player option to remain with the Nets, sources confirmed to our Adrian Wojnarowski. LA had been the one team known to be interested in a potential sign and trade for the talented point guard. Irving had until Wednesday to opt into the final year of his contract with Brooklyn, which has been reluctant to offer a long-term deal with the point guard. Certainly you can understand why. You look at the numbers and you would scratch your head, right? He's averaged 27 points with the Nets in 3 seasons, second most in franchise history behind KD. He's got 4 most in franchise history. Of course, there's the little matter of the fact that he's played in, just over 50% of his games since he's been there. Bobby Marks is back with us. I'm glad you didn't go anywhere and go get dinner, Bobby, because last time you were here, just a few minutes ago, we were trying to run the numbers potentially and what the Lakers could do to get Kyrie. What does him opting in now mean for his future there?
Well, he's got an extra $36.5 million in his bank account because if he had opted out, there was no guarantee that he was going to earn that money back. And we went through all those complicated sign and trade, scenarios here. Now, he goes back to Brooklyn. He's on an expiring contract. He will be an unrestricted free agent next offseason in 2023. There's still time for them to work out a deal. They have now until June 30th to maybe add a couple more years. But for right now, I think we're going to be in a holding pattern as far as what the future is, because the Nets were hesitant to even extend him off this current number here. So he's on this one-year deal. He could still be traded. Now, opting in, now it opens up he doesn't have a no-trade clause. It opens up the landscape for all 29 teams if there is a trade out there for Brooklyn.
Okay, the elephant in the room, right? Everybody in the NBA that follows the league now wants to know, how does this affect Kevin Durant?
Well, for right now, I think there's a calm, right? The storm is still probably at sea, and it hasn't come yet. I think as long as Irving is on this roster, I don't see him asking out for right now. I think certainly he wants to know what the future is going to be. If it's going to be just playing Kyrie Irving out and letting him walk next offseason, I think that's probably the most important question that Durant is going to have.
I have an important question for you because I want to go back to the Kyrie part of this. This idea that he's opting in, so now the relationship is just fine. You mentioned, right, but you mentioned that, right? They've been reluctant to sign. We had mentioned the fact that out of the 6 possible teams that Kyrie gave the list to the Nets that he would like to seek a sign and trade with, only the Lakers were interested. Do you think that him somehow opting in makes him more enticing to teams now for a potential sign and trade?
I don't, because I think any team out there is going to basically inherit the same player that Brooklyn just went through for the past year. And now, if you're a team out there, what are you really willing to give up for 1 year of Kyrie Irving here? I think that's the big thing. Are you looking to give up maybe 2 role players to get him? Possibly here, but it's back to the same question. Why would Brooklyn take back additional salary when it's going to maybe trigger a Kevin Durant decision?
Bobby, how fragile, and let's go back to the big picture with Kevin Durant as well. How fragile is this relationship when you look at Durant's contract as well? 4 more years in Brooklyn, considering where we've been the last couple of weeks.
Well, I think eventually there's going to be a meeting of the mind with everyone here, right? I think from ownership to the front office to Kyrie Irving to even Kevin Durant to get him in the room and figure out what are we trying to accomplish here? We made the Ben Simmons trade for James Harden. On paper, at least, this is a championship-worthy roster when healthy. Do we all want to just kind of throw it out the window and rebuild here? And I think that's what is going to have to happen in maybe in the next couple of weeks here. Just get everyone on the same page.
Especially because there's been so much that's been happening through reports and through sources and whatnot. But again, the news, Kyrie Irving has decided that he's going to opt in. So that timeline that we were looking for on Wednesday, no reason to have those countdown clocks anymore. We can all go to dinner. Bobby Marks joining us here with that breaking news tonight.
One of the things Bobby said, though, on paper. They've been the paper champs for the last 2 years.
In paper in the offseason, it's great.
It all looks good. All right, that does it for us here on SportsCenter. We will see you tomorrow night. Thanks, Bobby.